Hold on, hold on.
I can hear
Yeah,
you.
I can hear you now. I didn't
Okay,
hear
excellent.
you. My audio was off.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Oh, I'm supposed to get used to it. Nearly there. Yeah, good. Thank you for all the work you're doing.
Oh, no problem.
Very nice
That's
way to
it.
do it.
I just do what I can.
No, you do a lot. I think.
Yeah, we'll wait till Michael and here's
Yeah,
Michael.
Michael coming there. Oh,
There he
it's
is.
dark. Hi,
He's
Michael.
he's
Good
keeping
morning.
himself in the dark.
Yeah, I think I need to put a light on.
This is your caveman mode.
Yeah.
We're
That's
yeah,
nice.
we're all stuck in the basement. There he is.
I'm not in the basement, although
No,
kind of
no,
basement.
yeah. Michael and I have a little hangout. We have a fairly large basement. It's the full size of the house. My wife takes up half of it with her sewing machines.
Sewing machine, so many.
Well, one of them is 10 feet long.
Wow.
It's for quilting. So
Wow.
the sewing machine goes back and forth on taut wires
Mhm.
and backward and forward, and it's programmable to do little patterns.
Wow.
So,
That's nice.
oh yeah, it's
Wow.
quite the machine.
But you're making like a carpet or big
A quilt.
quilt. Wow. That's your project or your wife's project?
Oh, that's hers. That's all hers. I don't understand these things.
They're not so complex. I have a sewing machine myself and I do embroidery.
Yeah.
It's fun to make.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, that's it. That's what that machine does, is actually embroiders, but it's like a full-size blanket, and it just goes up on rolls, and so you roll it, it does a strip, roll it, does another strip, and so on.
Interesting. They're quite
Yeah.
expensive, I think, if they're so big.
Yes.
Because I
Oh,
think my brother, what I use for my sewing, it's about $200 or something like that.
oh, the machine?
The embroidery machine. It's a
Oh,
sewing
no,
machine,
this
and a computerized sewing machine.
multiply by 10.
Yeah, I could imagine that.
Yeah. And she got hers used at a
Oh,
really good
used even.
price. Yeah, oh yeah, the new ones are just it's stunning that people can spend. Yeah.
And she makes the design herself too, the designs.
She has made her designs. It's basically using it's programmed. The actual image file is HPGL, which is plotter format.
File. Yes.
So, and that's all it is. It's a plotter that embroiders. Crazy.
And
Anyway.
she uses how to say, what software does she use for that?
It's actually a proprietary controller, but for drawing, it turns out that the only one she can use is old version of Corel Draw.
Really?
If you remember
Oh yes,
that.
I heard about people complaining about those things.
Yeah, it's there's really nothing out there to do vector graphics and output in HPGL. I have nothing that I've found so far.
Not true. Inkscape
True?
can do.
Which,
Inkscape together with
Inkscape.
Stitch
All right.
Stitch plugin, you can get
Yeah.
HTML plotter out.
Okay, I think we're onto something here. She'll be quite happy.
Yeah, that's good. Inkscape is very good. It's vector based, basically.
Oh yeah, good.
Good. You can get an SVA file in, and then you can get anything sort or plotted that you want. And I think also, I'm not completely sure, Lightburn can do it too. I use Lightburn for laser cutter. I
Oh, I
have to
see.
check because they have many outputs like Burn. It's not free, but it's an amazing program. I know the programmer, the guy who made it, and he's good. But he charges for it, and that's very understandable.
Well, yeah, if it's anyway, okay.
Good.
I'll just chase that down when I get a chance.
Mhm.
Are we
And,
expecting?
What?
Sorry, are we expecting Yella?
Yella is supposed to show up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah. You called him. That's nice. Yella was
Yella,
supposed
we
to
were
show
just
up, and then ping pong.
Yeah, we were just talking about you and there you are.
Oh, really?
I
Oh,
don't.
whoops.
Maybe he doesn't hear us yet.
I
can
heard.
hear you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, good.
Yes.
We just don't see
Yes.
your video. So.
Hi, Yella.
Yeah, it's always a 5-step process. So
Okay, there you go.
hello.
So sorry for all the confusions with the power chip.
Oh,
I
okay.
had, but I wrote the table wrongly. So I thought one table was the 192, but it was reversed. So now I understand the issue, and it works okay.
No
I
problem.
mean, I got 600 milliamp charging, not 1 amp, but
Oh, good.
600 is,
Okay.
is good enough.
So you're programming for 1000, like the value, the register
Yeah.
value 16,
Yeah.
but you're only actually getting 600.
Yeah, six something, but at the moment. And I thought maybe my charger, no, my charger can put out 2 amp.
Mhm. So I'm just wondering where the limitation is.
Yeah, I don't know too. Something to think about was to check. But 500 is fine, or even if it's 400, I think something like that. That
Yeah.
will charge in 8 hours about.
I don't.
We're missing you a little bit.
Yeah, he just froze.
Yeah, probably very cold there. No, I'm joking.
Right.
No,
But,
it's
you know,
not
if
so
it's
cold anymore.
if you're just using it for drives, you charge it, then you go for a drive. You know, get home, plug it in, you know, or put it on the charger pad. And if it's in a fixed location, let's say with a solar panel, then it's going to be trickle charging all the time.
Mhm.
So, right, the solar panel is not going to give you 500 milliamps if it's just a little.
Ooh, it depends.
Well, I mean, okay, so yeah, you have the big, you know, 300 watt
The
module.
small ones are still you can get them at nearly 10 watt. It's very small.
Okay,
So
10
it's,
watts at 12 volts or
I think 5 they put out.
5. Okay, okay.
But and we have to check that. So
Yeah.
what options there are.
Okay, so but so if you're programming 1000 and you get 600, where is the limitation?
I don't know. But it's not so important, I think.
Yeah,
We can pick it up.
okay. So okay, well, write it down is good enough. But that whole discussion raises the point about the reverse battery protection. And
Yes.
that I think I think that would be very scary for a user who's not experienced, you know, like they want to do citizen science. And let's say they're a writer who travels a lot. So not technical, just technical enough to understand, you know, like what, you know, what the implications of how to measure correctly. And then they get this thing going on, right? They put in the battery backwards and all of a sudden it gets hot, the plastic melts, you know, they're going to be freaked out.
Mhm.
So I'm just looking at, I don't know if you saw some of the posts
No.
on Slack.
So, please read up. I made some changes, and this was just a crowbar to design for.
Oh, yeah.
A hurry. So I had some problems, and this will solve it directly. But
Yes.
it's much nicer. The new TP4057, they have reverse battery
Yes.
polarity.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay,
it's fine.
so
We're
it's
going to use those.
okay. So that's the decision now is to use a TP4057.
Yeah, for the new boards, the 4 versions. The 3 versions, the 5.6 has an external protection on it. So they're fine. Yours fine, you can flip them over. The free
Okay,
the
so,
303 boards.
that's what that transistor is on the, let me just reach over, where is mine? There it is.
It's on the small board, yeah, the transistor on the end. Oh no, they're basically 2 FETs together.
So the 4056 does have reverse polarity protection?
No, this board has. The 4.5.6 doesn't itself, but this is the board is on it that has a special protection on it.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Okay.
Okay, okay, so I'm, I guess, oh, this is gonna be,
Yeah.
it's gonna work?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, all right, so here's my, okay, so what we're seeing here is, so what you're saying is that this is the TP4056 chip. And these are the 2 MOSFETs
for controlling.
on the end to do a reverse battery
Yes.
protection.
Yes, and the batteries are separate on the 303 boards. They completely go 2 wires in and they come 2 out. And that if you see
Yes,
the
yeah,
schematics-
okay, so on the for the 4057 chip and the module that we're looking at in Slack here is the actual 4057 chip also includes the reverse battery, so we
Yes.
don't need the external FETs.
Exactly. The boards are much smaller.
Okay.
They are the board we have now is like this big, about 16 millimeter or something like that, and the other
Mhm, mhm.
14. So
Right, okay.
I already posted it in the Slack channel, so you can see.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, I see it in Slack here. Oh yeah, you got little measurements, everything. So 18 by 14. Please, are the holes standard, or do they get a vary between module manufacturers? Because that's just
No,
silly.
this is even a 2.54 pitch. The connectors on it.
Oh,
It's correct. It's what it should be.
okay.
No,
Okay.
they figured it out that many people were complaining, and I think
I'm
the
sure.
version they
Very small guys, some good replacement. Okay, so I'm just gonna get a couple and just to play around with.
yeah.
So, and, so in other words, so we're back to, okay, so, let me just understand. Pardon me for thinking out loud again. And if I'm just going off into the weeds, just let me know. You've got a USB-C connector on the end. That's going to be parked on the end, just like this one.
No, I'm
And-
thinking no. I have a completely different idea, but the idea is
Okay, go ahead.
make it clean, and I have also a different charger, a QI charger that's not
Yeah.
the standard one, because if you take a few times out of the board,
Yes,
you can get easy break. It's not
yes.
clumsy. It's very dangerous, I think.
Yeah, so in other words, this little stub here, this little flat ribbon cable from the Qi charger or
That will
Qi
break.
charger or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very fragile.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
USB-Cs.
No.
Okay,
Hold on a second. I get the link.
yeah, please.
This is a new test I made. I don't know if you hold on a second. Let me get the blur off. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, I see. Oh, right on the end.
Right
So,
on the end, but there is no. It solders in. There's nothing there. It's even safer. And
oh, I see.
And inside is a connector, and the connector is going to be on the board. That's one idea. So,
Oh, I see. So,
oh, like
okay, so you're soldering the little connector. Okay, so soldering the wires, and it's just basically just glued onto the rubber or
Yeah.
whatever. Or
it's very simple. And then it can be disconnected, and this connector is going to be on the board, on the latest board. And then
okay.
it fits very nice, and it charges good. So we
done
don't
it.
have any external, and the only USB-C is from the M5 Slack, M5 stack.
Okay,
So there's no confusion which USB-C to use and other, just one.
okay. Okay,
Makes
interesting,
it much
interesting.
simpler. And also, did you see the hack somebody found for getting the version 1.1 to start up automatically?
Yeah, I saw that. I was it was late at night when I was reading it, and kind of had a brain meltdown. So I was going to look at it again today with a fresh mind.
Yeah, because
Just
that would solve the problem too. Then we can even make a switch on it. I really like the switch because mechanically switching on instead of the on the how would you say
Oh,
that?
the little
Yeah, it's quite
push button on the
small.
side. Yeah, the
I mean, that's one idea. Please give other suggestions if you think some
Yeah.
other ideas you have.
yeah. I think I'm just going to get another V1.1 just to play around with, because I've got my V1.1 right now installed. So if I don't want to break the one working that I have. So okay, so yeah, see, so that guy's calling TD hack. Keep switch. Okay, so we're gonna keep mechanical switch for on off,
That was my idea.
but
So I have to work on that.
hack to auto power on.
And also, Yella, thank you for the kind of political solving of the problem with us, we and me.
It's still not solved, but
Oh, kind
I
of.
think what
Calm
we
down.
discussed last summer was
Yes.
for development it doesn't matter. Like we can always in the end make the decision, this is what we do. And we're kind of at that point where we have to know what the decision will be, but we can still change it in the code. Like we can, I don't know, just disable the option to go roaming and upload at the same time, or so it is something that needs to be decided
Yes, I think so
soon.
too.
So
Yes. And that's not only by us, because we have certain ideas, or at least I have certain ideas. And also we should consult it with Peter and maybe even with Ray or more people.
yeah,
They
absolutely.
should have a look at it and make kind of voting what we're gonna do and move it on. Because I think Peter and Aspi are still kind of stuck in the mode they are starting with, and they're not flexible for that. They say this is the way it should be.
Well, I'm kind of in there, like I'm with them. Like I think these should be approved, but maybe the approval process could be improved.
That's sure, but you need manpower and you need resources.
Yeah, right.
That's not there, and it's not scalable. The problem is there's a 3,000 drives not approved. I mean, it's scalable and they can do it. No, they cannot. Peter is busy, Aspi is busy, all the moderators are busy,
Mm-hmm.
and it needs to be approved. So how are you going to do that?
Well, just auto approve if it's low.
Yes.
You know.
So why not send
But,
it directly?
although those should maybe also be
There
looked
are
at
rules
if
for it.
they're like in a high area and then
Yeah.
they can go through and it's all low and then it's like,
No,
oh, well, that's also false. So.
There are some rules already set up for that. And
Right.
we had a lot of discussion about those rules, and they're implemented already. That takes care of a lot of approval, but still a lot of drives are not approved. I don't know why. I always take my hands off the approval. Sometimes I only approve if I know the people, or if I know the drive and I quickly check and then approve them. Then
Right. Right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna exit that conversation because when just let me know. when the dust settles out, let me know.
You can see my head.
It's up to Rob. Rob can initiate the discussion with
Yeah.
Peter and Aspie and
Yes.
Ray or
Yeah.
whoever wants to join in. I have no strong feeling one way or another, although
Yeah.
I do like the approval process, but it's really not up to me. So
Well, I'm looking at it from kind of from an external point of view, where somebody, let's say a researcher come along and can I trust this data? And if there's some doubt that some of the data points got in without approval, or they may be suspect, or then all of a sudden it really decreases the value of the whole data set and everything that Safecast is doing. So I think that's, basically it's like your reputation is gold, and as soon as you lose your reputation, it's really hard to gain it back.
It's not
So,
gold.
yeah.
It looks like gold, but if you really look at the database, what kind of junk is in there from other people, you'll be surprised. You see the filters that's going to the map.
Oh, so what's going to the map is filtered already?
Oh yes, it's very strongly filtered.
Oh, good. So, all right. But
and sometimes Aspie finds things and said, "Oh, this shouldn't be there," and then he checks, and then he usually gives Nick the drives or the issues, and Nick would take them out or filter them out. They're still in the database, but they're filtered out. So if somebody picks up the database, there's not the same as the map.
I see. Okay.
And there's many tests of me with 10K CPMs and stuff like that.
Oh wow. Okay,
It's in there.
So. Okay.
It's not only me, yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen it from Bunny. I've seen it from Akiba and from other people. There's some junk coming in.
Okay.
So it's not gold. It looks like gold,
okay.
but it's
well, okay. But, yikes. Okay.
Some parts are missing. The database get corrupted and we couldn't get it back.
Okay.
Like that.
Using Postgres, are you?
Yes. In the beginning, they didn't use Postgres. They used something else. I don't know what.
Yeah.
And the transition between different servers, things.
Yeah. Because Postgres allows you to have a database replication across sites.
Have that. There is,
there
is a completely different server running as in dev. We have 12 instances or AWS running.
Okay.
So it's not like that. And the Matt is the only one that really knows it. And Matt at the moment doesn't have time or doesn't want to do things. We need to do things because we're running a double the budget than normal the last 2 months. I think Safecast pays about $1,700 a month for the AWS setup. It used to be about 800.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that needs to be done, and I cannot do it. I mean, I don't want to take a risk in upgrading it. So we're looking for people to do that. Peter and me are busy with finding people who can do that.
I have done Postgres management in the past, so I don't know. Do I need another project?
No. No. Peter,
I'm currently. I might be interested in helping later. Like currently for my other project with my dad, we are migrating to like a new generation of the software, including like a whole new backend. Currently we also run Postgres, but we want to use, I think, Timescale DB or something that's way more useful for measurements and like values at time, and it's really fast, and it is based on Postgres, so you have all the same features, etc. I don't know much about it. Like we currently have another person who wants to join the project, so that's nice, and he knows a lot about that. So I'm gonna set that up like the new generation of the software, and also learn from that. And maybe I can apply it at Safecasts.
Yeah, that would be
That
useful.
would
Yeah.
be nice. Yeah. Because
Interesting.
it's very similar. Like, although
Yeah.
Safecast is radiation data, this is like energy data, consumption, production. It's
Okay.
still basically the same. It's very similar.
Yeah, that's good. I didn't know that. That's interesting for you too then. So maybe if you want to, you can be involved in the, and if somebody is gonna fix the AWS, so you can see what they're doing, and if you want to.
Mhm. Well, not at the moment, but maybe in
Okay,
like a
I'll
month
keep
or
you in
2 or
mind in
3.
case you.
Yeah.
Okay. And Michael, also thank you for the extra enough information that we can get the height not from sea level, but from ground level. That was interesting. I didn't know that you could do that.
Isn't
Yeah,
that
I
the
don't know how
average?
accurate it is.
Yeah.
The documentation, I started diving into it. It's a pretty deep rabbit hole
Yes, I can imagine.
to go down. So, like for example, I live on top of French Hill, and it's telling me the ground level is way below me. So does it have? I mean, like I said, you have to go through this documentation. Does it add the details? How granular is ground level using that WGS 84? So I haven't dove into that.
Yeah.
I only got so far.
Yeah. I'm not sure it's going to give you that much of reliable information because I mean the difference is, like if I'm walking around and I put it onto my backpack, that's 1.2 meters or something like that. If I
Right.
hang on my belt, that's 1.0 meters. And if it's in the car, it's let's say, like the top of the door frame, it's 1.4 meters. So I don't think we're going to get that kind of resolution out of the WG84. I mean, they're really smart people, but not, like we're dealing with a physical limitation here.
Sure.
But if
But
you
would it
want
really
other-
make a difference if it's 1.0 or 1.5 or?
Well,
I don't think so.
yeah, I don't think so, but that's what's being recorded in the when you upload a drive, you put that in the
Right.
metadata. So
Yeah, it's metadata. Like
yeah,
it's just
so
extra information. Like,
Well, right now you're recording altitude above sea level, though.
yeah, that's for the fixed
yes,
sensor.
right.
So
But that's
Yeah.
what you normally have used before, because all the big Aggies do the same.
Sure.
Yes.
I figured there was some history to it. That's why my initial implementation of the Teeny uBlocks library was altitude above a mean sea level.
You're right. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's
and
But
that's
then I
what
decided, well, I'll add the other so that that data is available if we ever wanted to use it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that makes sense.
And Louis, you mentioned that you were thinking, I'm not sure who mentioned that if you get higher up, the guy, oh no, Aspi was saying that if you get higher up, the CPM goes is different. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's difficult to determine because you get more radiation from the outside of the Earth, and you get other radiation at the bottom. So I don't know.
My guess right now would be that as you go up, the count is going to be lower because you're further away from the ground where the source of radiation be, whatever if it's either fallout or just naturally occurring, like if you're, but at a certain point, you're going to get into cosmic.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like, yeah, but
That's
that's,
quite quick,
that's,
honest.
like, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if I'm here, it's already 500 meters up. It's
Mhm.
higher than if I go to village down, but it could also be the structure of the rocks here. I don't know if that's the
okay, I
reason.
think I just lost my video. Let's turn that off.
And also, I think depends if you have alpha or beta. Alpha, beta, yeah, sure. And any 10 centimeters makes a difference. But gamma,
Mhm.
it goes quite slow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's polar.
So anyway, if it's being recorded, might as well record it correctly, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Back to GPS spoof detection.
Yeah.
The module gives us, if you'd have to read at the same time as nav PVT, you have to read nav status. And there's a bit in there that tells you if spoofing is suspected. And all the module is doing is saying that it's seeing a jump in position that's impossible, right? And it only tells you when it detects it. So from one fix, like they call it epoch. So from 1 second to the next 1 second interval, if it sees an impossible jump in position, it assumes spoofing is in effect.
Right.
After that spoofing bit goes away.
Yeah.
So the question is when do you decide that spoofing is no longer in effect? And that's a deeper question. So, I mean, I was thinking about that. One is just like, well, according to Pavlo, the spoofing occurs when there's an air raid, coincident with an air raid siren. How long does that last? 5 minutes, 10 minutes? I don't know. We're not going to guess whose side is doing that. Obviously, that's not our business.
No.
The thing is, do you basically wait till, I was thinking of one way is you kind of extrapolate from the current path what it should be. And obviously with a greater and greater circle of imprecision, just if you've seen hurricane tracks, like if during hurricane season you look at the tracking, and it has this sort of widening cone as the uncertainty increases with time. And if, let's say, the position comes back to be stable, you can say, okay, we'll declare spoofing off and then start accepting position fixes again. So that's, I'm sure there's people who are way smarter than me and spent a lot more time on that out there. I just haven't had a chance to go look. But that's probably, yeah.
Sorry, and Louis, so can I ask Pavlo that he built a teensy GPS recording and record the GPS while the air sirens and the spoofing is on, so we have a recording of it with the Michael software. I mean, this is wonderful. So
that would be very
then
cool.
we can
Yes.
analyze what's going on. We can use that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and that's okay for Michael too, that if I tell Pavlo about that?
About which?
About your code, that Pavlo's going to use your code to make a recording while the spoofing goes on. So we have.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
the raw data from the GPS. That will be.
Well, right now I'm not recording spoofing data, so I have to add that in.
Yeah, that would be useful if you could do that. Then we can.
Yes.
It would be helpful for Pavlo too.
Yes.
They can
Absolutely.
use that data to analyze what's going on.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
We can help them.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Oh, good. Great. Do we have more things? Because soon I think we are on out about 6 minutes more.
No, that's it for me.
Yeah.
Well, since the last meeting, I missed the last meeting, but my meeting before, that's when I had implemented the M10 support. And so far everything looks good on my end. If anybody's else tried it or tried the emulator, so I've got to add that to emulate. I've got to add that spoofing packet to emulation as well. So I have to make another loop.
No.
Oh, the other thing was,
yeah, go ahead.
at one of our town hall meetings, there's a guy that I see there all the time, and he's a retired municipal worker from municipal engineer from New York City. And at one point, about 20 years ago, they mapped out all the radioactive sites in New York City. Some of them were related to actually labs that were in New York City for the Manhattan Project. And there was also a rail spill
Oh, interesting.
on Long Island. And I said, would it be would be an interesting test to take my Zen and go through those routes to look at that data. And so he and I are going to get together. We're going to map out where I need to go to see these
Wow.
to drive near these sites.
That's kind of cool.
That's a good project. Yes, that's
Yeah.
what you like. And then let's see if there's maybe before you go, check on the map if somebody already done something on the map. It's only from September till September.
Right.
Still,
Mhm.
if somebody has done the site, you can compare if it goes down and up.
Yeah.
Right. Right. And Indian Point, like I said, is 10 miles away from here too. So
Yeah.
that would be an interesting, I can go by water or by land around that area.
Very cool.
There's
Yes.
still a battle with New York State and about dumping the pools of water right into the Hudson River. I mean, it's one thing to dump into the ocean, but talking about dumping into the ocean, into the Hudson River. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Yes, I can imagine that's a big problem. Because
So that's it from
Yeah.
my side. So on my to-do list is adding this nav status packet, recording and emulation. So we have something to work with on both sides.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, and the M10, according to me, I can see much more satellites now.
Yeah, it's a better unit. It's no doubt.
I got the average about 25 when I'm outside.
Wow.
Yeah, I think, but you also think I think that it's the Baidu or what's the name, the Chinese.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the so well, in Japan, you should be getting Beidou as well as the Japanese system, the QZSS. Right. So that, and there's two of those, right? There's one is geosynchronous, which means it's actually in an inclined orbit. So it's going to describe a figure 8, right? So it's slow over Japan. When it goes to the southern hemisphere, it's actually moving faster. It's closer to the Earth, so it's going to swing really fast over Australia and come back. So most of the time, it's going to dwell over Japan, over like north of the equator. Well, Japan, Korea, etc. But and then they also have a geostationary at the equator, just like a direct broadcast satellite. So you're going to see at least 2 of those, plus the Beidou, plus and I can't remember what the limitation is. You can't, if you have Beidou, you can't have GLONASS or something like that. I can't remember.
Well, if you have Beidou, there's 2 Beidou channels. You can only you can't have GLONASS if that first Beidou. So that's the other thing I added to the test bed was the ability to turn off the switches to turn off individual channels on the ones that matter.
Yes,
cool.
Impressive. And it remembers it. So
that's so cool.
That's why I couldn't see them. That's why I couldn't see the satellites on the.
I had already recorded them with the status screen, but then now I wanted to have a switches to control them, and by design I saved.
Hardware switch.
No, it's in the device. It's on the menu.
Oh yeah, the software switch.
Yeah.
We're about to lose. We're at 30. We're at 30 seconds, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, I added that in, and it by design it's meant to save to the device. So when you're actually using the Zen code, it works correctly.
Yes. That's
awesome.
Yep.
All right.
Good.
All right.
Bye, everyone. Have a good week.
Thank you all.
Yeah.
Have a good week.
Thank you.
All right.